I'm Charlie Sonny from the Renegades of Puck, and this is the case for Karl, a Renegades of Puck special commentary. Now, the Nashville Predators will be hiring a new coach soon in their franchise history. There is no doubt about that. This is not a case looking backwards. This is a case looking forward. This case is for Karl Taylor to become the next head coach of the Nashville Predators. I'd like to begin with taking you back and telling you a little bit about the background of head coach of the Milwaukee Admirals, Karl Taylor. He is from North Bay, Ontario. When he was a player, he was a forward and also a defenseman at times during his playing career. He's currently 51 years of age, and after his junior career ended in the year 1991, he played 5 years in college at the University of New Brunswick. After completing 5 years at the University of New Brunswick as a player, he left hockey to complete his master's degree in 1996 in sports management. He would return to the University of New Brunswick as the assistant coach in 1997, and in 1998, the University of New Brunswick would win the CIAU championship. In May of 2000, Karl Taylor would be named Red Deer College assistant coach for 3 seasons. In 2005, he would move to the ECHL and the Reading Royals as the director of hockey operations. The Reading Royals, under his watch, would have a record of 112, 82, and 22 in 3 seasons. All 3 of those teams would make the playoffs. In 2008, continuing to move up the rankings in the Ontario Reign, head coach for the LA Kings ECHL affiliate, their first season. In 2009, they became the Pacific Division champions of the ECHL. In 2011, he accepted the assistant coaching job with the Chicago Wolves in the AHL, one of the premier AHL hockey clubs of the last many years. In 2014, he was named the assistant coach of the Portland Winterhawks, and then he was recruited by the Texas Stars of the AHL in 2015. Now, the Texas Stars have also been one of the premier teams in the AHL in recent history. He would go on to spend 4 years with the team before becoming head coach of the Milwaukee Admirals in the 2019-2020 season. In 2019-2020, in his first year with the Milwaukee Admirals, he would be named the league's most outstanding coach, and he would also get an opportunity to coach the Nashville Predators on an emergency call-up basis on December the 17th of the year 2021, and would have a 5-2 victory over the Colorado Avalanche. So 1 opportunity in the NHL, 1 victory. Now, with the Admirals, since becoming their head coach, 2019-2020, his first season, a record of 41-14-8, a 714 winning percentage, and a division championship in the Central Division. Unfortunately, while the Milwaukee Admirals seemed to be marching straight towards a championship that season, the playoffs for the AHL had to be canceled due to the COVID outbreak. The next season for the Milwaukee Admirals was also completely canceled as the Milwaukee Admirals would combine with the Chicago Wolves. Karl Taylor would, of course, remain with the Nashville Predators organization during that season. 2021-22, when the Admirals got back on the ice, they had a record of 39, 28, and 9, finished 3rd in the Central Division. But this caveat, very important, they won their first playoff series in over a decade by defeating the Manitoba Moose before falling to the powerhouse Chicago Wolves of the AHL last season. Now, this season with the Milwaukee Admirals, Karl Taylor currently has the Ads at 32, 18, and 5, second place in the Central Division, 1 point out of first as of the recording of this broadcast. Now, players for Karl Taylor, the Nashville Predators, they are arriving prepared and they are exceeding expectations. The Nashville Predators had some injuries throughout the season but remained relatively healthy, but seemed like each time one of these players got a call-up, they were not only prepared to fill in, but they exceeded the expectations for a call-up player in that particular opportunity. Now, as the season has progressed, the Nashville Predators have, of course, had to deal with several injuries, and now, after the trade deadline, have dealt with the trading and dismantling of several core and veteran players, leaving plenty of opportunities for young Nashville Predators prospects that have played mostly under Karl Taylor in their career. They are showing up more prepared than expected and They are delivering the goods and exceeding expectations. Luke Evangelista is the most recent case and the most recent story, fully prepared for the NHL in his first couple of games after less than 1 full year within the AHL with Karl Taylor. Luke Evangelista has 41 points in Milwaukee this season and just scored his first 2 goals in the NHL in the Nashville Predators' most recent game. He's fully prepared to be here at this level. Tommy Novak, 26 points in the AHL, 23 points in the NHL this season. Tommy Novak is proving that he is a reliable player no matter where you put him in the lineup, first line through fourth line, give him the opportunity at center. He has shown he has the poise and professionalism to deliver the goods even at such a young age. Glass is another example. Thought of to be a project, now 24 points this season and getting first-line center opportunities. Clearly, something in his development process has clicked. There are other examples. Parsonen had 9 points in 10 games in Milwaukee, then came to the NHL and was fully prepared to take over first-line center minutes while the Nashville Predators needed, and now has 23 points at the NHL level this season. There's other examples. Leonard, Gross have had opportunities to come up, and we have seen them progressing. Afanaseyev is also progressing. He is a very young prospect for this Nashville Predators team, but most importantly, Yaroslav Askarov, the most unique personality in the entire American Hockey League, is being coached right now by Karl Taylor. The antics, the routines, the amount of fun, the character that Askarov brings to the game is only equaled by his actual skill level and play. Karl Taylor, so far in the first full season of having Askarov as his netminder, has been masterful in balancing the fun yet professionalism of being a hockey player in the Nashville Predators system. It is going to be of critical importance moving forward in this Nashville Predators franchise that someone is prepared and fully capable of handling the dynamic skill, talent, and personality of Yaroslav Askarov moving forward. Karl Taylor is already well out in front of showing that. Again, other players progressing. The Milwaukee Admirals marching towards the playoffs, and they're expected to make a long run this spring. And after Karl Taylor takes care of business in the AHL this postseason, well, and I fully expect that the Nashville Predators should promote him to the NHL level. It is going to be the most important training camp for this Nashville Predators franchise since the first training camp in franchise history. Speaking of that first camp by the Nashville Predators in their franchise history, well, it was led by Barry Trotz, the first ever head coach in Nashville Predators franchise history. And just quickly give you a little background on the first ever head coach in Nashville Predators franchise history. He finished his junior career in 1982 in Manitoba. In 1984, with the University of Manitoba, became an assistant coach. In 1985, became general manager and head coach of the Dauphin Kings. That's the team he finished playing his career with in juniors. In 1987, became the head coach of the University of Manitoba. In 1992, head coach of the Baltimore Skipjacks. That team was relocated to Portland and renamed the Pirates. And in 1994, Barry Trotz would lead the Portland Pirates to the Calder Cup Championship. He would also win the Outstanding Coach in the AHL for that season. In 1998, he would be named the first coach in Nashville Predators history at 36 years old. He would go on to coach for the Nashville Predators for 15 seasons, 1,196 games, and he would be a Jack Adams finalist. I give you Barry Trotz's background after giving you Karl Taylor's background because you can't help but notice the similarities. Neither of these players made it to the NHL, but both significantly played for large portions of their life. Both have college coaching experience. Both have scouting and operations background at junior and minor league levels. Both have AHL head coaching experience. Both have won AHL Coach of the Year. But now one has the power to give the other the opportunity. Poyle once gave that opportunity to Barry Trotz, and now Barry Trotz can give that opportunity to Karl Taylor. nothing is guaranteed. Karl Taylor's hiring does not mean that he will coach for 15 years with the Nashville Predators or 15 years in the NHL at all. But at this moment in time, it is obvious that Karl Taylor has done the work, is prepared for the next level, has proven it with numerous examples, and should be the leader and next coach of the Nashville Predators to lead these same prospects that he already has placed in the highest level of professional hockey in North America. Let him finish the job in Milwaukee. Let the Admirals go on their run. Then it's time to promote, and it's time to let Karl Taylor have his opportunity as the next head coach of the Nashville Predators and lead the next generation through what is guaranteed to be the most significant and important training camp that the Nashville Predators have had in 25 years. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. This has been a Renegades of Puck special commentary, The Case for Karl.